Go ahead.
Thank you, Sunilji. Radhe Radhe. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita session. Radhe Radhe Nitinji, over to you. And happy Navratri and happy Gudi Parva to everyone. Happy Ugadi.
Happy Ugadi. There's a lot of happies. Okay, we'll talk about that as well today. So thank you, Pallavi ji, and thank you, Sunil Bhai and Madan ji for a beautiful session. So from Pratyahar, it's time for reverse Pratyahar. We are going to indulge in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, that is a good indulgence that we are going to do now over the next 60 minutes or so. So welcome everybody to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, and we have something very special lined up for you after that topic. So we're going to talk about the topic of SEVA, and we are going to get into why SEVA, we need to render to the Guru, because Bhagavad Gita talks about that. And then to cap it off, we are going to have our enthusiastic team, SEVA team, do their presentation, which we are all waiting with bated breath. Okay, there's a lot of build-up that has happened. Let Monica ji join so that I can put a bit of pressure on her. All right, so no worries. So we'll get started, and let me share my screen by invoking the blessings of God and Guru and get underway. Are you able to see my screen? I think you're able to see my desktop. And within my desktop, let me make it full screen and get started. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. All right. So Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening again to all of you. Let's get started. So today I picked up a shloka because it's very relevant to the topic of our discussion today. And given the fact that we have a beautiful presentation lined up as well, I picked up 4.34. The way we do it is we pick up certain aspects of that shloka which are relevant to our discussion until we get to that shloka, in sequence, and then we do a real deep dive. So today I'm going to talk about service part of it, but let's do a quick recitation of the shloka. Maybe we'll pick up 2 or 3 hands, not many, and then get started with the deeper discussion around this topic. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. All right, let's see who gets the privilege of reciting it the first.
Rahulji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
Radhe Rahulji.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna.
Radhe, thank you. Yes, who's next?
Samji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
Sam, you are coming second every day. I don't know what's going on here. Go ahead.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, thank you. Okay, let's pick up a few.
Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
Radhe Sandhya.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Okay, very nice, Sandhya. Radhe Radhe. Okay.
Shyamji, Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
I think another 5 hands. Yes, Shyamji.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Shyamji. Wish we have picked up this shloka multiple times. This is a shloka related to Lord Krishna telling Arjun that in order to know the spiritual knowledge, need to approach a spiritual master. And then within that, we are going to focus on the aspect that he's saying. Inquire from him with reverence. Render service unto him. Why do we need to render service unto him? Right? That is what we
Don't talk, huh?
Is it like a quid pro quo transactional relationship, or what is the deeper secret behind it is what we are going to talk about today. Okay, let's pick the remaining hands real quick and then we'll get started.
Aparna ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, last four hands.
Surya Prakash ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
SPG, please.
Radhe Radhe, Nitin ji. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina sattvadarshanah.
Nice, thank you. All right, last three.
Keshav ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi parnipaten pariprashnen sevaya updeshyanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Nice.
Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. And I would encourage all of you to recite it. When we do that, the more you recite, the more auspicious it is, right? So it's Bhagavad Gita. So please keep reciting at your place. Keep your mute on. Yes, Riyaji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Riyaji, Radhe Radhe. Last but not the least, Rita ji.
Rita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinah.
Thank you, Rita ji. So let's get started. In this shloka, Lord Krishna is saying, learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him with reverence and render service unto him. Such an enlightened saint can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Let's get started. So today we are going to, before we start, so happy Ugadi, Yugadi, Gudi Padwa, Baisakhi, and Navratri as well. So you see how it is celebrated in different parts of India. So it reminds me of the definition of God. So in God, if you look at the different avatars of God, there is unity in diversity, and then there is a diversity in unity, both. And same thing happens, if you look at the demographics of Bharatvarsh, India, as well as the way some of the festivals are celebrated, there's a diversity in unity and unity in diversity. Both aspects are there. So happy festival to all of you. I think it's a new year as well. Ugadi is considered. So hope you're enjoying the delicacies that come along with it. And let's get started. So this is what we are going to talk about today. All right. We are going to talk about why is Seva important and why is Lord Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita that one needs to render service to Guru. Like that's why I picked up this shloka, and followed by a breathtaking presentation from the enthusiastic team. No pressure whatsoever, Monica ji. We are really waiting with bated breath. Okay. There's a big build-up happening, like it happened with that big release, right? We had in Bollywood. So we are all looking forward to this presentation. So let's tee off the discussion for today, looking at the topic that we have. How do we progress in bhakti? Okay, we had spoken about bhakti, the 3 S's. You remember 3 S's? I hope you do remember. These are the 3 S's we spoke about. We spoke about sadhana. The second S is the seva. And the third one is, of course, satsang, as you look at it. Now, the beauty of seva is that it is actually a fruit of your sadhana. Okay? If you have done a lot of sadhana in your past life or your current life, when you have reached a particular threshold, the seva would come your way. Okay, that is how it works. It may seem like, what's the big deal? You know, somebody called me up and said, do seva because they had work and I got it. Okay, no, doesn't come so easily. It is actually the fruit of sadhana, because when you are employed by God, directly or indirectly, it's a huge privilege. When you're contributing towards something which helps spread God's message, or in some form or manner, you are contributing or aligning to the goal of your guru, because who's a representative of God, it is a huge privilege. It doesn't come so easily. Okay, we may think, okay, there was work and they called, so what was the big deal? I could have refused. No, the very fact that it knocked on your door means something. You have done sadhana in past, and it is the fruit of your sadhana because of which you get seva. So it's a huge privilege to get seva. Okay, now what is the significance of seva? Let's talk about it. Let's get started. So here's a guru-disciple relationship as we see. You said you approach a spiritual master and then render service unto him. Now what happens? Let's talk about it. Now our scriptures say that God's grace comes via Guru by. So what happens when you render service unto him? Okay, let's look at each one of these things. There's a very deeper principle that is actually is set in motion when we do seva. And what happens? It is very thought-provoking. Just think about all these things that happen actually. You might not have thought about it, but these are the things that get into motion when we start getting engaged in seva. Okay. So what Guru does in that case is, he starts providing you more of what you need to progress spiritually. Okay. So whatever you have, right, and you need more of it to progress spiritually, he will start providing you that. Okay. What else happens? Then he starts preserving what you have and what you need to progress spiritually. So there are two things: adding more of what you need to progress spiritually, and second, preserving. Preserving is also there. He preserves what you have and what you need to progress spiritually. And destroying things that are not conducive for your spiritual growth. That is also a very important aspect. You would have seen, right? You don't have to leave world or certain friends or certain associations. They start leaving you. They lose interest in you. You might be wondering what's going on here, but there is a method to that madness. It starts happening all by itself. And it's Guru in action. They start doing anartha nivritti for you. They start providing for you what you need, and they start preserving anyways that's for you, that is needed for you. And it is basically referred to as Yogakshem in Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says he starts doing Yogakshem. How does he start doing Yogakshem? He starts doing Yogakshem through a Guru. Guru does that. And all of these things Guru can do remotely. He doesn't have to be physically present in front of you. We can do it remotely, wherever the Guru is. Okay. The only thing Guru cannot do remotely is Prem Dan. What happens when your vessel is prepared? For that Prem Dan, he will manifest in front of you, wherever your Guru is. And then he may do any act. He may silently look back at you, or he may slap you, he may punch you, he may knock you down, or he may embrace you. He may use any tool to give you that divine love at that point. That is the only thing Guru cannot do remotely. I mean, it's basically at that point Guru has to manifest, but everything else he can do remotely. Does it stop here? No. Let's look at it. What else happens? Fighting with your bad sanskars and or prarabdha. Okay, it's a huge privilege you get. Just think of it. You have a bad prarabdha, or your bad sanskars have come. Yesterday, I think Swati ji was saying, we feel inspired, and then there comes a time we don't feel inspired. What happens? What happened? What happened was, now your bad sanskars have come. Now it is a battle uphill. It's like swimming against the tide or taking your bicycle up the road. Now you have to pedal hard. So those sanskars, Guru are aware of it. So what they do is they start diluting it, because based on your sincerity and how much you are aligning to the principles that they have told, right? When you do that as a sincere sadhak, then Guru even intervenes with your bad sanskars and even prarabdha at that time. Whatever is permissible within the framework, of course, right? He doesn't violate certain principles, but you start getting that privilege. What else? They plant, sprout, and continue to nurture the seeds of devotion towards God. That is the huge benefit you get. We cannot do it on our own through our self-effort. So if you start feeling love towards your Ishtadev, it is because of grace of Guru, grace of God via Guru. It starts happening. Okay, so they will not only sprout those seeds, but also continue to nurture it within you, provided you are putting in your self-effort. It's not going to happen automatically. It will happen automatically as long as you are aligning to those principles. So you cannot take away the necessity or the importance of our self-effort in this whole thing. Okay, they will continue to grace you, provided you are continuing to put in the effort sincerely. And it is said that Guru, when you start getting into the deeper states of Rup Dhyan meditation, they will start showing you such leelas of God that are not even documented anywhere. Okay, Guru has the ability to do that, but really depends on your sincerity and how much you are willing to put in or align to the principles that they are telling you. So they have that ability. So the very fact that we feel attracted towards God, or we have some kind of an attraction, fascination, affinity that we start developing, is all happening because of Guru's grace. That starts happening as well. And provide a suraksha chakra, circle of protection around you. That also happens. Okay, you will realize it through your different experiences in life, where, we will not know. We may think it's a coincidence and things like that, but you'll realize it starts happening. Doesn't mean you get an immunity from everything in life, right? Like COVID or pretty much everything. It doesn't mean that. And that should not be the incentive or, to go for that. But Guru silently does that, what is needed for you. Okay, he's not going to absolve you from your self-effort, because end of the day, we got to be responsible. We should not be asking seva from Guru and God, right? When we say, protect me, do this, do that, make this happen. So it's essentially asking their seva. They do that wherever it is needed, okay, based on, what is probably needed for your journey. Okay, there's no guarantee that if you do it, you should be, and then you start blaming Guru. Okay, why did it happen? I was aligning to your principle. That's not the intent, but Guru does that secretly. Which opportunities are picked up by him, only Guru knows and God knows. Okay, and we have to trust their judgment around that. And start removing the material defects and take you across the ocean of Maya, of course. Okay, that is the most important thing. They have the ability to complete your journey. They don't leave your hand until the journey is complete. So once the association is established, that is not broken, unless through your free will you do something big, right? Namaparad or something like that, then that, might, but other than that, Guru, they will never leave your hand. And they will make sure you cross over the ocean of this Maya, whether in this lifetime or in some other lifetime, or they will send somebody so that the message is transparent and that association is formed quickly, so that your journey continues. But they will not leave you hanging in between once that relationship is established. Now, with all these things, of course, the question comes, why is Guru asking for seva to give all this stuff to us, right? Is it something like quid pro quo, transactional? You do this, I do that for you. Anybody who wants to take this question with your understanding? I mean, it seems like, okay, we have to do the seva in order to get all these things, getting yogakshem, anartha nivritti, even diluting our bad sanskars and supporting our spiritual journey, providing us a suraksha chakra, all the material defects, the elimination or gradual diminishing of all those defects. All these things would happen, but there is a condition of seva. Now, why seva? Guru being a representative of God, since Guru is also God realized, they should be akaran karun. Why do they put this condition here? It almost seems like transactional in the world. You do this, I'll do that, right? Kind of a condition. Anybody who wants to take that real quick? And then we can move on.
Samji, please go ahead.
Radhe, actually, I raised hand for one question, Nitinji. You can tell later, but I'll ask now itself. Could you please take a class on Naam Aparad? Because I'm never clear about that. And if we do Naam Aparad, why will Guru leave us when he's a current?
He will not leave us. It's like you put your spiritual journey back by a lot of notches. That's essentially what it. Guru doesn't leave you. Okay, it is an eternal forgiveness basically from Guru's side. Namaparad is one of the things that we all of us have done and we keep doing because of our ignorance. And it is considered bigger than the 5 sins. They are Panch Mahapap in our scriptures. You know, I think stealing, drinking, and there are relationships, illusion. There are, I think, 5. I can bring it in one of the sessions. This one is considered even bigger than that. We will probably have a separate session on that itself. The point to be understood here is that it can set back your spiritual journey. And one of the namaparas that all of us do is having a bhed buddhi, or a discrimination against the different avatars of God. This one is superior, this is more powerful, this is less God, this is 80% God. That buddhi is not good. Okay, all avatars are replete and complete in themselves. You know, they may have certain attributes which are latent, but not. So that is one common thing people do. Having said that, we have done a lot of those. Okay, so don't worry. Now you're on path of devotion. Those also will be exhausted in due course of time. So don't get scared about it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And this question, I don't know the answer.
You don't know? Okay, we'll get into that. So the one opposite next to the alligator is the crocodile. Okay, I'll answer this question as well. Yes.
Preeti ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yes, Radhe Radhe everyone. Nitin ji, in a way it is a quid pro quo, because I have heard in your classes, you take 1 step and Lord God takes 3. So he mamekam sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. If we do that, I think it is in a way quid pro quo.
Okay.
However, please correct me.
Sure. We'll get deeper into that discussion. Taking 1 step and other steps, I think there's a story for that. So the father-son story, the son is, fights with his father and say, I'm going to go on my own. And he goes away and then he does begging and tries a lot of stuff, but nothing works out. And then finally he comes back and puts his tent 3,461 steps away from his father's house.
Yes.
So father, they said, why don't you come to the house? He said, no, I won't come. So then they say, father, why don't you take your son? He said, I will take him. Let him take 1 step. I'll take 3,700 and 460 remaining steps. So they said, what kind of condition is that? Is it ego or is it what? You are merciful. He's ignorant. He said, that's fine. I'm willing to take that 1 step also. But what is the guarantee he wants to come? So God says, you show an intent. Rest I'll continue to do. So what is the guarantee, right? What if father goes there and he says, why, who asked you to come? Okay, I'm fine here. So he said, you show intent, rest I'll do. But this one, I'll get into that. It goes deeper for sure. And I'm glad you asked that question because we'll have a discussion. I'll probably take 2 more hands and then I'll get into the explanation around it. Yes.
Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
I have a feeling Sandhya is going to steal my thunder. Yeah, go ahead.
Not necessary. But yeah, I feel I'll just say. So I guess it's like Guru and God are always gracing us, but we can't realize it because we are so impure. So Seva allows us to actually become pure, get rid of that impurity. And that's when we can start seeing the divinity which is within us, around us all the time. So
true. Good. I'll expand on that a little more. I see new faces, new hands today. So let's give them a chance. Nikita and Sumanta ji, and we'll get to Keshav ji as well. So
yes, Nikita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. So I was saying just that the ultimate thing is Seva. So as we are tiny portions of God, and we know that we get it once the Guru graces us. And when we do all the Seva, when Guru graces us, we get the ultimate Seva, which is of God and Guru. And which is of Radha Krishna, directly serving him. So we are eternal portions of God. So our eternal position is as a Seva. So that is not something that Guru is imposing us. That is what we need to learn. So that is why maybe.
No, beautiful. Very true. I'll expand a little more on that. Very true. That's a very correct answer because our eternal constitutional position is that of being a Nityadas. So the sooner we start understanding, how to do Seva, the closer we are getting or aligning to the ultimate gift or the topmost prize of God, getting his personal seva. Great point, Nikita. And Guru is the one who actually teaches you, educates you, and puts you on that path. Very true. Thank you so much for that. Let's take maybe a couple of more hands and then see what.
Yeah, Sumanta ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Okay. Radhe Radhe. Guru is giving importance to seva because to remove ego from us, so that we have a feelings that I am not the doer. God is the doer of everything what is happening. Otherwise, we may think that that I am doing all those things. So we may get the proud. So to remove this ego from us, God is giving. Guru is giving.
Yeah.
Very true. Got it, Sumantaji. We'll take one more hand because we have a presentation coming up. I think you are all of you are perfectly on point, and I'll just expand a little more to conclude this so that we can move on to the presentation as well that we have lined up. Thank you so much, Sumantaji.
We may remove the ego within us. Yeah.
Yes. Great point. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Keshav ji.
Keshav ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Sorry. Radhe Radhe. It is exactly the replica of what Purushottam Krishna did in the war front for Arjuna. When Arjuna surrendered to him, only then he imparted the transcendental knowledge, whole of Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, he said, don't tell it to others. Those who don't believe in me don't want to know this knowledge. So that's what exactly here it is in this shloka, that it is not for sale. Nobody can take it by force. No money can buy it. No power can take it, grab it. You have to surrender to the Guru like Arjun surrendered to Purushottam Krishna. And number two, Purushottam Krishna, it is for me, it is wrong for me to accept it that he is not here. He is in every single individual human body, not even human, even animals and birds. But he is not visible to us, but he knows each and every one of us, every action. Radhe Radhe.
Very true. I think all of you are spot on with your assessment of why Guru gives us that. It is all of the above. Plus, I'll tell you one more reason for that. It is Guru saying, help me to help you. Okay. How is it saying that? Help me to help you. So God, when God's grace comes via Guru, now Guru, if he starts distributing his grace whimsically, then it is not aligning to the laws of God. Okay. He has to give it based on that condition because the soul is not truly getting purified. Right? When they are not getting purified, seva is the way to do that. I can talk through the seva, how it starts purifying you. Nishkamta comes, of course, it's a crash course on life. There are so many things. But the second part of it is, of course, when you accept somebody as a guru, he wants to grace you, but his hands are tied. He cannot do it whimsically. So when he has to grace you, he's enabling you to open up his arms. So the more you render service unto him, now he's basically, his hands are getting freed up to grace you because he has to follow a certain principle. He cannot distribute it whimsically just for the sake of distributing it because you have considered him as a guru. So to free up his hands, when you do Nishkam Seva, render service unto him, which of course they don't need. If they have to build a temple, they have a contact with Kuber. Okay, it will get built in a jiffy. If Ram Bhagwan had to build a bridge, he can do it like this. He doesn't have to do such a big drama. But they create Seva for our welfare. It's like, help me, help you. You get a Seva, you purify yourself, you free up my hand so that I can grace you, and it is auspicious all around. So that is again another reason for Guru, other than of course training us with the sanskars of providing Nishkam Seva. That is why he creates this Seva and the divine stress for us. Swamiji in SMX, right? For the Sevak Dal, basically he was talking about the more we take on that divine stress of doing Guru Seva, the more closer we get to the NATO principle, not attached to the outcome. I don't know how that works, but that is how it works. Okay, so they create Seva for our welfare so that we can free up their hands and enable them to grace us, which they really want to do. They really want to grace us, but it cannot be whimsical. So that is why, to that extent, yes, it's good quid pro quo, but that is to align to the God's laws and not make it whimsical. Even when they fight your prarabdha and sanskars, they do it within the framework. They don't play God. So that is the whole idea. Okay, I see 3 more hands. Will take you, time permitting, but I want to give enough time to our enthusiastic team. I would like to invite over their captain, Monica ji, to take on from here, and we are all looking forward to your presentation, okay? Because the topic is SEVA, and this is our 4th team. We have 4 teams: selfless, enthusiastic, Vinamra, and Ananda teams. All 3 teams have given fantastic presentations, and this is the final one, and we are all looking forward to it. I can see a lot of smiling and enthusiastic faces already. So over to you, Monica ji. Let's hear from you. And what do you think about SEVA, especially the enthusiastic aspect of it? So please go ahead, all yours. I'm going to stop share now.
Thank you, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe, everybody. And on behalf of Team Enthusiastic, I welcome you all to our presentation. Our presentation is a little over 17 minutes, but less than 19 minutes. So promise it will not cross 20 minutes. So please fasten your seatbelt, because I have requested Swarnaji to make a note of people who are leaving the presentation so that we can talk to them after the presentation. No, kidding there. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Okay, may I request Rahulji to please share the PPT?
Yes. Let me know once you can see that. Oops.
Yes, we can see that. Yes.
Yes.
We can see that, Rahul. Sure.
Yes, I think we are ready. Yeah. Go ahead, Monica ji.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm unmuted. All right. So we'll start our presentation by offering pranam to Maharaji and Swamiji. Let's go to the next slide, Rahulji. And our topic is enthusiasm and devotion, or rather enthusiasm in devotion. Next slide, please. So as Swamiji says in his book called 7 Mindsets for Success, Happiness and Fulfillment, that when grace touches our hearts, we feel the fragrance of divine love, the inspiration to serve, and we experience the enthusiasm to progress. To support these, we have a few more quotes, or rather one-liners from Swamiji. Those are mentioned in the next slides. Rahulji, next slide, please. Now, this one says that even one piece of knowledge, if sufficiently reflected upon, has the power to transform us eternally. But what kind of piece of knowledge can actually motivate you or us, right, to transform eternally? And why would we do that? Because, next slide, Rahulji. Because the Lord desires his little parts to grow in divine virtues and become perfect like himself. Now, we understand that God desires us to do that. But do we have that will in us, or the capability in us to become perfect like himself? And the answer is in the next slide. A big yes, because all souls have infinite potential for growth, whatever be their present state. And this infinite potential can be fueled by your behavioral momentum, which is mentioned in the next slide. That is, as you strive to improve yourself, the speed of your self-transformation keeps speeding up. The reason is that any learned behavior becomes easier after every repetition until it finally becomes a habit. Now, all theory, right? But how do we do that? Let's hear it from the master. Next slide, please.
ये यथा हम प्रपद्यन्ते तांस तथैव भजाम्यहम्. भगवान और महापुरुष दोनों का एक कानून है, जितना प्यार जीव करेगा उतना प्यार, उतनी कृपा, उतना अपनापन उनको करना पड़ेगा.
So जितना आप करेंगे उतना उनको करना पड़ेगा. This is like the ultimate piece of information that we have, right? And I so wish that all of us, we had this information before, but thankfully we are associated with Maharajji, Swamiji, Nitinji, Bhagavad Gita class, and we have this information now. Let's hear it from Swamiji also in the next slide.
Some people ask me, Swamiji, what is your secret of motivation? I say, look, it is very simple. I realize the value of the graces I have received. The opportunity to meet a true Guru, to receive knowledge from such a Guru, the opportunity to serve the Guru, this great and wonderful path of Bhakti Yoga towards the most attractive Radha Krishna, and the blessed grace of being able to help others. And then I also remember that life is short. So I don't know how long this golden chance will remain. I keep that in my mind and I feel inspired.
So when we know this ultimate truth that life is short, you know, a lot of us, I used to think, and now I hear it from my friends also, that, you know, we'll start all this bhakti when we are 60 years of age and stuff. But then when life is short, this ultimate truth, and also from Maharajji that, you know, God reciprocates whatever whatever bhav you have, he reciprocates with the same bhav to you. So what more, right? So whatever you do, this is the motivation. And to fuel this motivation, you need enthusiasm. I think enthusiasm is something that actually can fuel your motivation to an extent that the output is multifold, right? So when you pray enthusiastically. When you read enthusiastically. When you talk to people, you do whatever, you do it enthusiastically, right? So your karma, that your karma yoga is smoother because you have the clarity that your ultimate goal is to attain Shama Sham's Dham, right? So you become enthusiastic there. Now let's listen it from the team enthusiastic members on how they implemented this, what motivates them or what enthusiasm means to them. We can start with Swarnaji.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe.
In the next slide, we have Swarnaji's recording. Yes. Thank you, Swarnaji.
Radhe Radhe, Swarnaji.
Radhe Radhe.
Okay, the question for you is, how do you define enthusiasm, and could you throw some light on your experience about the same?
Yeah. So the word enthusiasm is derived from the roots en, which means in, or within, and theos means God. That means being one with God. So people with this gift carry a special kind of energy within them. They bring warmth and feeling to their relationships and vigor and freshness to their activities. So Swamiji always cites that enthusiasm and inspiration are keys to success. Now, coming to my experience, in my life, I was going through a severe negative time wherein I had to pump in a lot of positive affirmations every minute to survive and to kill the negativity. So the enthusiasm and motivation of doing it daily for years actually made me stronger and a more focused person. And over time, I scattered all the darkness away. And in the end, it's always said that every cloud has a silver lining, and I could find it through enthusiasm.
That's so beautiful, Swarnaji. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Let's move on to Samyukta ji, whom you know as Sam ji. So, Samyukta ji, what do you think is the role of enthusiasm in anyone's life?
Okay, enthusiasm is actually an inner fuel.
Okay. Sorry. Samji is very enthusiastic even now. That's good. Please continue.
Enthusiasm is a fuel that burns within us. It powers us to bring out best abilities and talents to focus on work and hand. In this regard, Swamiji says that in order to make us understand the importance of enthusiasm, Swamiji always tells a story of a schoolboy. A schoolboy was on a summer break and he wants to earn pocket money. So he applies for a job in the nearby mall. On the day of the interview, he finds that he's the 21st kid in the line. So he scribbles something on a paper and hands it over to the receptionist and asks her to hand it over to the manager. The manager, after reading it, decides that this is the right boy for the job. So we may wonder what must have the boy written that made manager choose him for the job. The boy actually wrote, "Sir, I am the 21st kid in the line. Decide nothing until you see me." By writing that, he expressed his enthusiasm for the job. So we understand that how that enthusiasm is most important for success in life. If people are inspired, then they will not lose. Then even though they face obstacles, they will pursue until success is achieved. But those who fail, they lack motivation and they give up after few attempts. So this is the difference between successful people and failures. Because we have taken the path of spirituality, if we really understand that our true happiness lies in God and not in the material world, then automatically we keep ourselves inspired all the time by feeding our intellect with the reason why a certain work is so important. Why should we attain God realization? Because we don't want to suffer miseries in this rotten, miserable world. Because we all want bliss and want to attain happiness. So that should be our motivation for keeping ourselves inspired all the time.
Thank you, Samyukta ji. You remember that story from Swamiji, huh? And I can see the role and effect of enthusiasm in you already. So we had Swarna ji who spoke about almost the definition of enthusiasm, right? And then the role of enthusiasm in anyone's life that Samyukta ji spoke. But how do you enthuse yourself? Let's hear that from Abhishek ji.
राधे राधे मोनिका जी। तो यही क्वेश्चन मैंने स्वामी जी से पूछा था जब शिविर के लिए गए थे, तो उन्होंने यही बोला कि हमें जो भी ग्रेसेस मिली हैं, हमें उनकी वैल्यू समझनी है कि हमें क्या मिला है। पर जितना ज्यादा हम उनकी वैल्यू रियलाइज करेंगे, उतना ही हमारा फेथ बढ़ेगा हमारे गुरु के ऊपर, उतना ही हम ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होंगे, एंथुसियास्टिक होंगे, बट ऑल्सो हमें ग्रेटफुलनेस भी आएगी टुवर्ड्स ऑल दोस ग्रेसेस। एंड हाँ, उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि मुश्किल है इस माइक बुद्धि के लिए कि हम उन सारी ग्रेसेस को कॉम्प्रिहेंड कर पाए, बट वी शुड ट्राई अवर बेस्ट कि जितना हमसे हो पाए उतना हम करें। और इसके लिए एक परफेक्ट एनालॉजी जो मुझे अच्छी लगती है वो ये है कि अगर आप भूखे हैं और आपके सामने खाना रखा है एंड यू नो दैट कि इस खाने को खाने से हमारी जो भूख है वो शांत हो जाएगी, सो मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी उसमें प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट करेगा। एवरीबडी विल ओके, सो वी कैन डू इट। सिमिलरली द मोर वी रियलाइज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ what we have received, so yeah, we will definitely be enthusiastic on this path. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those insights, Abhishek ji. आपने एकदम बहुत अच्छी बातें बोली और ऊपर से स्वामी जी ने आपको जिस तरह से समझाया, बिकॉज कई बार ऐसे होता है कि हम एंथुसियाज्म का मतलब समझते हैं लेकिन इसको यूज कैसे करना है और जो मोटिवेशन उसके पीछे चाहिए वो लोगों को नहीं पता उसे। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ऑल दैट, राइट? ओके, विल मूव ऑन टू राहुल जी नाउ। राहुल जी, राधे राधे।
राधे राधे मोनिका जी।
कैन यू टेल मी अबाउट एनी फेवरेट कोट फ्रॉम महाराज जी और स्वामी जी, क्योंकि हमने अभी उन दोनों के बारे में बात की तो सोचा आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए।
Thank you for the question, Monica ji. So Maharaj ji and Swami ji always tell that you have to feel the presence of God and Guru with you. They are your sanche yaar. That means the true friend. There is a very beautiful bhajan of Maharaj ji where he has the opening lines are Man tero sancho yaar Braj Raj Kumar which means, oh my mind, that only true friend is Braj Rajkumar. So if we think about that God and Guru are with us, they are always watching us. Then whenever our mind starts playing tricks or that bad mood is trying to overcome us, we will again be alert. Okay, now we are going in the wrong direction. So that is one of the tricks which I try to follow. And one of the other things is, whenever I try to develop some negative feelings for someone else, then again, Maharajji and Swamiji tells that feel that Shri Krishna is also sitting in that person. So beware of having those negative emotions. So those are some of the tips and tricks which we can utilize to the best of our abilities and try to progress, as everybody is WIP, work in progress. Radhe Radhe.
Beautiful, Rahulji. Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing this. Okay, now we'll move on to Ankurji.
Radhe Radhe, Monica ji.
Radhe Radhe, Ankurji. Ankurji, would you like to share any experience of yours or anything to talk about enthusiasm in your life?
So, I mean, Monica ji, whatever I have, I would like to share few things, few books which I've read from Swamiji. I mean, written by Swamiji. So one of them is Power of Thoughts, and which says that step by step you change your thought process. Wherein we are changing that thought process from being very negative thought process, dovetailing that thought process, going a step further. So, that level of enthusiasm automatically increases. And when it increases, it's automatically taking you in the direction which is the right direction. I also remember Swamiji's one lecture wherein he says that, what happens if in case a plane is about to, take off and it's, let's suppose it has to take off from Delhi and had to go to Mumbai. And let's suppose he's 1 degree here and 1 degree there. What would happen if in case that it is misjudged by the pilot? And enthusiasm also plays that role, wherein if in case you have right level of knowledge and that enthusiasm automatically comes within, and it helps you, it creates that that momentum within the self, and it takes you further. So that's how it has been. And so this is what I would like to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ankurji. Thank you so much. I'm glad that this principle is working for all of us, and Swamiji and Maharaji is so beautifully. And obviously we have Nitinji also, जिनके through हम सब every single day inspired होते चले जाते हैं, और weekend पे वो inspiration रहती है और फिर से weekdays में शुरू हो जाते हैं. So thank you everyone. अभी सबने सबके मुंह से सुना. अभी कुछ झलकियां देखते हैं to show how enthusiasm has changed our lives. Radhe Radhe.
And I like what I see.
कान्हा, मैं ये आपके लिए बना रही हूँ. आप मक्खन के साथ रोटी खाओगे. राधे 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 श्याम. शिव जी, पार्वती माँ, आपके लिए भी है. भूख चढ़ेगा, अच्छे से खाना.
Mummy, what is India's score? Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Papa, did you bring the gulab jamun? Radhe, 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 Radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe,
And I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It's my life, it's now or never. But I ain't gonna live forever. I just want to live, I live alive.
ये तो सच है कि भगवान है मगर फिर भी अनजान है। ये तो सच है कि भगवान है मगर
In the Millionaire booklet, it talks about earning money, keeping money, and multiplying money.
नया प्यार है नया इंतजार कर लूं मैं क्या अपना तेरे दिले बेकरार तू ही बता।
Happiness too is within ourselves. The fourth divine law states that true happiness comes by growing from within to become a better person.
Okay. All right. Okay, this was from Team Enthusiastic. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Radhe.
My goodness, Monica ji, it was well worth the wait. It is called hitting the ball out of the park, home run. You know, the way you guys conceived it, packaged it, presented it, and brought your personalities to the fore. You know, each one of you, I mean, mind blowing. And the way you know, whoever conceived it, however you did that, it was pretty amazing. Sam did a few antics in between, but that was okay as well. But towards the end, I think she more than made up for it. So, Suvarna ji, you are a great actor too. And Abhishek, wow. Guys were amazing, I must say that, and very well conceived. And I loved all the novelties you brought in, right? Some of the state-of-the-art stuff you did, you know, that screen and that beautiful picture where somebody's opening, Krishna is opening the door and Gopi is waiting down below. I mean, every moment was treasurable. I think this is one of those things. I mean, this is one of the best presentations I've seen personally. I must say that. I mean, everybody did well, all the teams. And you brought in that novelty element that was cherry on the top of all the presentations, you know, how they have gone. So wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sure a lot of people want to chime in as well. So I will give them an opportunity to ask questions as well if they have any. But fantastic, to say the least.
Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe, Monica ji and team, it was amazing, very creative, very engaging presentation. Kudos to all of you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Lots of hearts, lots of claps throughout the presentation.
A lot of hard work and a lot of creativity. Now you can imagine how pleasurable doing SEVA could be. You know, If you see, we can make SEVA also, we can dovetail our creativity towards SEVA, and it becomes so pleasurable now. And to top it off, we are doing it for God and Guru, right? Amazing creativity around it. Yes, let's hear from others as well.
Radhe Radhe, Sandhya ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. The presentation was truly mind-blowing. I just loved each and every element of it, and I could not stop from sharing and highlighting some of the things that I really wanted to point out. The Tika, the Radha Krishna Tika that some of you are having, I love it. Swamiji's book's background, and that too, everyone is having a different book, basically highlighting all the different works, beautiful works done by Swamiji. The slides, like whoever, all of you have prepared the slides very beautifully, very professionally, very nicely. And as Nitinji mentioned, I love the way you guys showed, Maharajji and Swamiji ka video in that format. And reels, I mean, you guys have to be part, all of you. I don't know if you're part of the creative content team. If not, all of you have to be. Like, these reels will be blockbuster on our RKT Instagram and DWFBG Instagram pages. And there is no excuse. Now I know you all can do it so well. If it does not come, then that will be a problem. And all these reels should go. I mean, these are amazing. They should all go online. I mean, this will have a huge impact.
All of them are great actors, So Varna ji, Ankur ji, Abhishek and Sam, and pretty much, I mean, these guys.
And Swarna ji is so cute. I just loved that. I mean, very cute, very sweet. Thank you so much. It was an absolute delight to sit through this presentation. And you guys justified to be at the end so that, you kind of added all those elements which could have been further added. I mean, all the presentations were amazing, and this was...
And we should thank the remaining 3 teams as well, because they exhausted so many creative ideas, because they were forced to dig deep and come up with something which would have, like Shyamji's team and Urvi's team and Shiramya, they were so outstanding. So they had to dig even deeper to come up with something that would enthuse us. So hats off to all of you and all the teams, basically, for raising the bar with every presentation. Finally, culmination of this amazing stuff that we saw today. Yes, let's hear from others as well.
Radhe Radhe, Urvi ji.
Video is going to be hit, I'm telling you, okay? I'll let you know when I post it. So it's a must watch.
Nitinji, can I add, before the other participants give their feedback? Actually, the most of the outcome that came out, it was most of the ideas put forth by Monica ji only came as the outcome. So most of the credit goes to Monica ji. And then Abhishek. Abhishek is the one who is behind making reels, presentation, everything, putting the musics. So he did so much of hard work. So most of the credits goes to Monica ji and Abhishek.
So
that's
everyone. But yeah, Sandhya, we have gotten some real talent for our Insta stuff here. Okay, so let's tap into that. It was mind-blowing stuff. I think you guys have talent, so it can be utilized into so many things, right? And our SEVA team is pretty amazing. All of you are so amazing. I'm telling you, I've never seen more traffic than RKT posts on Insta or otherwise after, these 4 teams were formed. So you guys are doing fantastic job, and you don't even need to be asked. You just go there and do it yourself. And it's all, what do you call that? Code of what you call honor, where we go and do stuff and log in points. Nobody asks, nobody checks, nothing. Amazing. Loved it. Okay, let's hear this as well.
Okay, Radhe Radhe. So actually, we had presentations in our schools, in college as well. But to be true, this presentation was the best presentation that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like this. And I don't know, like everyone, I don't know, every time I join the class, I have something new to inspire myself. And looking at each and every member of the enthusiastic team and the way Monica ji coordinated it and the way everybody just came up with their things, I just don't have words. This is truly being speechless. I'm speaking, but I don't know what to say. And the animations and the reels and all those graphics that were added, it was just an amazing teamwork. And just pronouns to all of you for doing this. I don't know. Just fantastic. Thank you so much for coming up with this.
Monica ji, the cat is out now. Okay, you are an amazing director. So there are a lot of stuff that have come here,
I'll spill the beans in the end.
Monica ji is good in making people dance. Okay, she does a lot of flash mobs here, and you have that knack and skill. So that was very well put, and each one of you did an amazing job. Okay, that is the beauty of SEVA, right? Just we are able to bring out our best, and when it all comes together, we saw what happened. So thank you again. Yes, let's hear from others as well. So many people want to share their experience and talk about it.
Radhe Radhe, Nikita ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation, and I had a question as well. But before the question, I want to show you something, and just see this. I have made two sketches for Swamiji.
Let's spotlight
and this
it.
is the first one, and second one is this, where Swamiji is playing Kuli with Radha Krishna.
I think I've seen it on Portal. That's pretty amazing. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm
sharing it with us.
these off, actually I'm selling these off and raising money for the Jagadguru Kripalu University. So 75% of the money would go for that purpose, and 25% I would keep it for the everything, the packaging, the framing, and etc. So, so I have just this to show you, because they have gotten sold off, one of them. So I wanted to show, because I'm not a teacher, so at this time I'm not available as well.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing it with us, and best wishes for the noble cause. I'm sure a lot of people will come forward. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And shall I ask my question? Or
Sure.
is it late? Yeah.
Sure.
So my question is.
We can let everybody talk, and then we can come back. Yeah, you can go ahead. Maybe we can have that discussion later, because I think people want to express about the presentation they saw. So let's complete that and come back to the question then.
Fine.
Yes.
Yasini ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. I have question, but I will ask that personally to Bhaiya later. So I just want to comment on the presentation. It is that I really like the panel interview types which Monica ji have created with others on the Zoom call. And just like Sandhya they told, like the background with books and tilak, I also noticed those are so wonderful. Just 1 second. And then I just want to say one thing. You have got a lot of chance. That's why maybe you have did a wonderful presentation. So really loved it. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear. I think I can see a few more hands. 1 minute each.
Sri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Sri Ramya.
Radhe Radhe. It was such an amazing presentation, and every aspect of it was so good, and it was like a showstopper in a fashion show, like a perfect end, and it was worth the wait, Monica ji. And we waited very long, and it was so beautiful and so good. So it is truly amazing job, and really it was such a great enthusiasm to prepare this presentation also by all your team members. It was a very nice work. Thank you so much for this. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's hear who else.
Surya Prakash ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Congratulations to Monica ji. It is one of the greatest presentations I have seen. And those who are not seen, they are the unfortunate souls, I should say. Thanks.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you, SSPG. I think everybody was pretty engaged and engrossed, and very, very entertaining for sure, with a lot of punch and message packed in it for sure. Thank you, SSPG. Yes, who next?
Jyoti ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. It was such an amazing presentation, Monica ji. So there are so many important points which the whole team has gotten. So these are the questions which arises most, or the problems comes into our mind. So while I was watching that amazing presentation, I realized that whenever I'll go to this problem, I need to do this. That could be the solution. Amazing. Very well done.
Very good promo material for Swamiji's books also. There's a problem. You refer to the section of the book, and this is the book which gives you very, very nicely conceived and thought.
Yeah, awesome.
Great. Okay, couple of more.
Lots of praises, lots of kudos in chat as well, Monica ji. I won't be able to read all of them, but it's pouring in. It's people, love of everyone is pouring in for all of you.
I'm telling you, the credit goes to the previous 3 teams as well. I'll tell you, when you don't have a good competition, then you are complacent. Okay, it's only because the previous presentation, they kept on raising. Shri Ramya started with setting a benchmark. Urvi took it to the next level. Shyamji took it to and then of course they had to come up with something really special. If you were first, I'm not quite sure you would have done so, right?
Nitinji, actually the ideas of Gurvi's team and Shyamji's team all were conceived by Monica ji in the very beginning itself. They were implementing, and we had to think of new ideas. So Monica ji did a really good job.
So I think credit goes to that, because all the athletes, they are able to put in their best performance when they have stiff competition. And the credit goes to pretty much all the presentations that have happened, because you guys really dig deep into your reserves, all of the teams, I would say, to finally reach to the level that we did. See, so amazing it is. And next time when we are going to have a team presentation, now the benchmark is already raised, right? It's like Sarjay Bukka raising it every level. So pretty amazing. Great. Let's hear from a couple of other hands as well.
Rita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Rita ji.
Radhe Radhe, it's really, really wonderful. Great job, the whole team. It's very mesmerizing and very inspiring. How the people changed, that is the one thing I really liked it. They are doing some different activities, but once they got involved with Swamiji's or Guru's grace, and then they totally change their activities, and they become like very devotional people. And I really like the background you selected. I don't know, how did you do it? I have to be your student. So wonderful. Kudos to the team.
Thank you.
Well said, Rita ji. Okay. 1 minute each, Manish ji and
Manish ji, Radhe Radhe.
We'll come back to Nikita. I think she had a question too. Yes, Manish ji.
Radhe Radhe, Nitin ji, Pallavi ji, and everyone. Yeah, it was truly a wonderful presentation. And I know Monica ji was worried that because all the stuff was taken up, her ideas, so she was worried. But you came up with the really creative ideas, and it was truly amazing. I mean, all the teams did an amazing job. The presentations were amazing. So thank you, Nitin ji and Sandhya ji and everyone for bringing this very great idea. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to partake in any of it due to all the health issues going on in my family, but I really love it. I've been following it, and it's really amazing. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
And you can always catch it up on the video, which is going to get released next week. So I'm going to tell that this as the presentation. Do check it out. And I'm telling you, I can probably safely say that this has been like one of the best presentations, probably the best presentation across anywhere that has been done, because very novel, very creative, and very well researched. So great. Thank you. Let's hear. Thank you, Manish ji. Well, yes, Sumesh ji. And then Shyamji, I would love to hear from him as well.
Today, my question is, Guru is the greater than the greatest. So how can we serve the Guru?
Guru is greater, sorry?
Guru is the greater than the greatest. Who can serve the Guru? Is my question. How we serve? Guru is the greater than the greatest. We little part of God, souls. So soul, how can serve the Guru?
Okay, how can soul serve the Guru? Yes, it's a great question. I'll come back to that. And Nikita ji also had. So we can take the questions. Let's finish the 2 hands and then we can get back to, yes, what can we offer Guru? Very true. It's a very valid question. We'll get to that question. I got your question. Yes, Shyamji and Abhishek ji, and we'll come back to the
Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Shyamji.
राधे राधे मोनिका जी, खुश तो बहुत हो रही हैं आज मोनिका जी आप, नहीं इतनी सारी वाह लूटने के बाद मजे आ रहे हैं ना बहुत कोई नहीं, ये बात है आपके लिए, इसीलिए आपने सबसे लास्ट में चुना ना अपने आप को. Really, it was really wonderful the way you all presented yourself and the way enthusiastically you did show us. But one thing I would like to tell you, सेवा में S पहले आएगा हमेशा. Selflessness. जब तक आप selflessness नहीं रहेंगे, कुछ काम नहीं आएगा.
आपके पीछे ही रहेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Trust me, it was really wonderful, and I'm sure it's really difficult to match up to all the contestants because जो जब सोचा हम सब कर लिया था, and उसके बाद to come up with new ideas, new reels, and I now know that you want to be a presenter. आपको एंकर बनने का बहुत शौक है, तो आपके लिए हम कुछ एंकरिंग की भी बात करेंगे. Really love to see you all, the way you all, and राहुल जी का जो स्कोर आया, गुलाब जामुन भी बाहर नहीं आया, बट हम भी खा लेते शायद कभी कभी, लेकिन हम खाएंगे जरूर राहुल भाई आपके साथ. Really lovely to see all of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you,
Radhe.
very articulated. And see the collaborative spirit that has come out of this initiative of SEVA teams. That is the most biggest takeaway of forming these 4 teams. All that collaborative spirit and the way we are coming up with that idea and making it such a joyful ride. That is the best part that is coming out of it. And on top of it, we are able to do SEVA. So what best? And I can already look forward to some future exciting presentations. I can visualize what might happen now.
इसके बाद I quit now. I quit the my leadership. मोनिका जी के बाद तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं करने को.
Quitting is not allowed, Shyam ji. Sorry. Okay, we need to talk about that. यहाँ आके अपनी मर्जी से जाते हैं, हमारी मर्जी से. Okay, so no quitting is not.
भाई यहाँ तो मैं आया भी मर्जी से आपके साथ और रहा भी अपनी मर्जी से हूँ. Yes, you know, मैं अपनी कुछ आज तक कर नहीं पाया. And you know, whatever I have planned my life, and God is being so smart. उन्होंने हमेशा उसको उल्टा काम किया आज तक. Trust you me.
It'll work out. It'll work out.
I told you always this thing कि मैं जो चाहा है उसको हमेशा उल्टा हुआ आज तक. अब मैंने चाह छोड़ दी अपनी. मैंने कहा ठीक है तेरी मर्जी जो करना कर ले. All yours.
Yes, that's the spirit, Shyamji. Okay, let's hear. I see 2 more hands, and then we can get to Nikita's and the other question. Yes.
Abhishek ji, please, Radhe, please go ahead.
One of our protagonists today. Amazing reel you created, man. You're very creative, I must say that.
Yes.
I want to share something. Like, पहली चीज तो ये है कि मोनिका जी is actually very enthusiastic. Like, उनके साथ बात करके ना ऐसे pump up हो जाते सब लोग, entire team. And that was the greatest thing happened. और उसके बाद जो एक चीज मैंने आपसे स्टार्टिंग में पूछा था कि how we feel कि हम सिर्फ इंस्ट्रूमेंट हैं, वो फीलिंग कैसे आएगी. And honestly, this time I felt this because ये जो रील्स वाला पार्ट है, इवन मेरा रील भी कंप्लीट नहीं था. मैं इनको बोल रहा था I will do it. स्टार्टिंग में सोचा कि नहीं बनाते कुछ भी, बट पता नहीं हो गया. मतलब ये जो कुछ भी आया है ना like मेरा लेवल नहीं है इतना. और ये सब चीजें आप लोग बोल रहे हो अच्छा है, तो आई कैन बिलीव कि हाँ अच्छा होगा प्रेजेंटेशन, बट इट जस्ट हैपेंड. मुझे नहीं पता है क्या, बट दिस टाइम आई एक्चुअली फेल्ट इट कि हाँ ऑटोमेटिकली हैपेंस, वी डोंट डू एनीथिंग.
And I'm sure आप सबने you must have experienced this thing when you pick up something more than your ability, and when it gets done, you know that it was not you who did it. It's God and Guru in action, and you would have realized after this activity is completed, right? That's the beauty another beauty of saving. Awesome job, Abhishek. Loved it.
Thank you, Abhishek ji. Radhe Rajendra ji, please go ahead.
Good to see you after long.
Radhe Nitin ji, I am very happy to be back here. It's like Brajras is flowing through this presentation. I cannot control saying it without saying this. It was simply outstanding and mind-blowing. I was feeling totally blessed to attend the session today. It's like a great comeback for me, I would say. Thanks a lot.
Chose the right day actually to make a comeback. I would say that.
Yeah, it's like grace of Swamiji only, I would say. Today I was able to come.
Wonderful.
And topic also SEVA. It was outstanding presentation by you and followed by the team presentation. Everything was outstanding. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Rajendra ji. It's always a privilege to hear from you, and glad and hope to hear from you more often. So I loved your presentations in the past as well. So we look forward to hearing more from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just few more lines, Nitin ji. I really want to thank my whole team because ideas to exhaust hote chale gaye, and the credit really goes to the first 3 teams. I mean, we decided on, we'll be very professional, or fir Shri Ramya ji ne wo le liya. Then we thought, we'll include some songs and all that. उर्वी जी ने गाना भी गा दिया, and I was messaging Sandhya ji also that on the side कि यार ये तो गा भी रही है, अभी क्या करूंगी मैं. And then Shyam ji, he got the get up, yellow पहन लिया. मैंने कहा कुछ बचा ही नहीं, करेंगे क्या? And then we got together as a team, we discussed, and then really kudos to everybody because जैसे अंकुर जी हैं, उनका time manage करना बहुत मुश्किल है, right? But because he has a small kid, but then उसके बावजूद भी बहुत सारी चीजें impromptu हुई. Then स्वर्णा जी ने जो cuteness डाल दी उसके अंदर, जो बोला जैसे बोला वैसे कर लिया, right? It's not that anybody said कि no, let's do it some other way. राहुल जी ने एकदम flawlessly उसको execute कर दिया. He was the one who actually जो इतने बजे मिलते हैं, उतने बजे मिलते हैं, he adjusted his time according to others. And then Sam जी humor factor उनकी वजह से आ गया, right? तो and अभिषेक जी ने तो फिर जो presentation को जिस तरह से पूरा collaborate किया है, हर किसी का idea, everything, it was all teamwork. So thank you very much. अभी 2 levels हैं, अभी आप हमारी मर्जी के बिना भी नहीं जा पाएंगे, जो team members हैं वो हैं, and then we have to take up more projects there. And thank you everybody for beautiful words because this is pure motivation, right? This just happened. We did not think ho jayega, but thank you.
Wonderful realization, and I think we are up for some more exciting projects in SEVA going forward. Rahul, Abhishek, your entire team, Suvarna ji and Sam ji, you guys are pretty amazing for that. And all the teams have amazing members, Shri Ramya's team, they set, like I said, they sent the benchmark. It's only because we had such stiff competition from others, they pushed you to raise your bar. So credit goes to other teams as well for what we saw today. So amazing. Thank you, everybody. Now let's move on to...
So did we win?
Sorry?
Did we win?
No competition.
Are we the winners?
See, winning, losing, Samji, if
No,
you're still hung up on that, then...
I'm
okay,
just joking.
Hold off on that. We will present our findings, very soon, based on our expert analysis around it. But I would say all the teams did a fantastic job, and we had a cherry on the top today, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
yes.
You suggested that everybody can, introduce themselves और उसके लिए extra credits मिलेंगे, तो वो हमारी presentation में हो गया. So, I mean, no pressure whatsoever.
Exactly. So we will use it as a benchmark, but I will announce it tomorrow, not today when everybody is there, because that is our next project as a group where we want to take that because it is going to help a lot and that will help spread the message and possibly inspire other people also to get associated with our online classes. Whichever, we have so many hundreds of sessions going on right now, whichever they build a hook and, take a step closer to their, spiritual journey, meet Swamiji, it will be a success. So I think we have some creative ways to make it happen. So let's talk about that. And thank you, Nikita, for patiently waiting. I know I've been making you wait. So please go ahead. I think you wanted to ask something. So we can take that along with the question that Sumesh ji had asked. So we can take that. Please go ahead.
Thank you for waiting, Nikita ji. Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, no need to say thank you. So thank you for giving me chance to ask the question. And Nitin ji, you are doing a great job. So I just wanted to ask, this is a question of Anjali, my sister. I wanted to ask this to Swamiji, but I'm unable to ask him. I'm not getting chance in SMX. So I couldn't show the sketches also to Swamiji. So the thing is that she is the follower of one of the preachers of Jagadguru Kripalaji Maharaj, apart from Swamiji. So her guru is very sad because she has done some Naam Aparadh. I cannot share that, but she has done some Naam Aparadh and her guru is very sad, and because of which her enthusiasm is getting shaken. So she is now falling into other material desires because of that. She's giving up to eating up samosas and going for movies now because she has done a lot for her guru and she is not getting any seva. The guru is not talking with her and everything, this all is happening. So she wants to know how to maintain her enthusiasm in this thing. So how to maintain it? So that was the question.
You can personally ask Swamiji. I can try to answer this question based on my limited understanding. But definitely take guidance from Swamiji on this particular aspect. Now, one of the things is a true guru, they exercise eternal forgiveness. It's like when you say something, do a Naam Aparadh against God, Guru is still forgiving. But when you do namaparad against a guru, God is not forgiving. Okay, that is how the relationship is typically goes. Now, going back to the namaparad aspect of it, we have done countless namaparads in countless lifetimes. Okay, that doesn't mean now you fall into a guilt trap and the two wrongs will make a right. Right? So you accept that, that is fine. But then the real art is in not falling down 7 times, but getting up an 8th time. He has to still move ahead and make the most of what is out there in front of her, right? Having samosas and getting into a guilt trap and then messing up your further life is not the way to go. One of the symptoms of devotees is having enthusiasm, being optimistic, being patient about it. And God is called Patit Pavan. We all are Patit. But the problem is we don't consider ourselves Patit. The day we will consider we are Patit, God will make us Pavan that day. So every saint has a history, every sinner has a future. Okay. And we all are Namaparadhis. Not even one, multiple. So that's not the way to go. And secondly, if a doctor is not working for you, then you check out with another doctor. Okay. If a guru is not helping, you may want to take guidance from Swamiji on this aspect, because guru is supposed to uplift you, not put you further down in your journey. And they are eternally forgiving. Because if we make mistakes and they do not help us out in that situation, then something is not right. So seek guidance from Swamiji on that. But the way forward is not to keep on feeling guilty, but to move forward. Because Krishna has said that he's going to burn off the stockpile of our entire karmas when we surrender to him. So rather than focusing on what has happened, which anyway has happened so many times, you should focus more on what they can make out of what is remaining out of their life, right? They can still resurrect their spiritual journey. They can still find a guru who can uplift themselves and still progress very quickly towards God realization. Nothing is lost as such. Okay, so that is the mindset they need to have. Not that
Thank you, sir.
Nothing is going to happen. Of course not. Right? So
Okay, thank you, sir.
right. If they have already feel that, that's fine. You have to move on after this. You can't be stuck in life. And Guru should be able to help you out on that in that case. If not working, then maybe time to check out with another Guru. Okay, take guidance from Swamiji, because they can lift them out of their current trouble at that point. Okay? It should not be a deal breaker in her life as such. We all have done it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you,
And yes, we are very insignificant. We can't offer anything to Guru, and for that matter, God. So that is why that bhajan is there, right? Mohan tere charnon ki, and then Siva dil ke tukdon ke. We can't really give God anything except, the love that, or exercise our free will and attach it to his lotus feet. Nothing else we can give. Everything is God only, right? It's all Prakriti. Even our whole body is rental. This whole world is God's energy. There's nothing that we can offer to God other than our free will, other than our love. And that is the only thing God doesn't have. And he's leaving it up to us to give it to him, or surrender that to him. So that is why, although we are insignificant, still we have an option to get the topmost prize of God, which is Gopi Prem, which even Lord Shiv or a lot of realized saints could not get, right? He was not given an entry to Maharaj by default. So although we are insignificant, but God can make us great or give him a top prize when we purify ourselves and truly become good and selfless. Yes, couple of other hands. I know we are over, but we can probably go for another 5 minutes, I guess. We'll probably not sing today, or if somebody wants to, we can check it out. But I think Urvi wanted to add something. Go ahead, Urvi.
Please go ahead, Urvi ji. Yeah.
Radhe, I wanted to add something to what Nikita ji asked. So actually, I once asked Swamiji that, Swamiji, I've committed some mistake and I'm so embarrassed. I've not even told you and I don't feel good about it. So I was so embarrassed to tell it to him. So I asked him, do you want me to tell it to you? Because I was not liking it and I don't want it to keep it a secret. So he told me that, just know that God and Guru have forgiven it, and don't focus on the past. Just release the past and manifest the glory of your future. That is what they are concerned about. They're not concerned about the past. They're just concerned about the purity of our intention in the present. And if that is there, then they're not bothered of what happened or what we did. And they're ever forgiving because they truly love us. And one more thing I wanted to add, that most of the times on SMX, I've seen that Nikita ji's hand is raised, but she doesn't get a chance. And that happens because if we join a little later, if we raise our hands a little late, then every time a few people can only be taken up, and then we don't get a chance. So next time, to make sure you get a chance, like if it starts at 9 p.m. IST, you can join 5 minutes before 9, and as soon as it starts, you can raise your hand and you will get a chance to speak to Swamiji. That's all. Thank you, Radhe.
You shared a trick. Now it's going to crowd out. Okay, everybody's going to join. But very great tip. See, now you are heard from Swamiji's response from Urvi. He said, God and Guru, they look at your present and your intention, not at your past. Because if they start looking at your past, then there's no escape out of it. So they look at your present, the way you are approaching it, purity and of intention is your insurance policy. And then make the future, whatever lies ahead of you, rather than getting stuck there. Now, if the current guru is making it worse, of course, that really needs to be tackled. That should be the case. They should be eternally forgiving, because we all make mistakes. And even after knowing, we'll continue to make mistakes until we become God realized. That is how this journey unfolds. The mistakes will lessen over time, but we will continue to do that, okay? Because we are not perfect as yet.
Thank you, Urvi ji.
Thank you, Urvi.
Shri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Shri Ramya.
Radhe Radhe. What I wanted to tell is, I remember in one of the SMX sessions, one student asked Swamiji, can you make a video on what is Nama Prad, how to avoid Nama Prad and all? And at that time, Swamiji answered this, that he did not want bhakti to be like fear-based, like we are afraid and scared, what is Nama Prad, am I doing or this or not? He said, don't bother about all of those things, what is Nama Prad, I'm doing that or not. He said, you just focus on your bhakti, all the other things will go away on its own. And he said he had multiple requests on that, and this is one reason he didn't make a video on that, because he said bhakti should not be fear-based.
Beautiful.
I didn't know that. Okay, thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Shri Ramya. Nikita, here you got a couple of other answers, right? So fear-based is not the bhakti. It has to be love-based. So whatever has happened. Continue to cultivate bhakti and develop love for God. Everything else will settle down. That is the key in Raganuga Bhakti. Thank you.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
responses.
Yeah. Thank you, Sri Ramya ji. Radhe Radhe, Sandhya ji, please go ahead.
I mean, I also just wanted to add one point, and it was a little different from what everyone said. I mean, I think also we are not at this stage that we can evaluate the action of a guru. So even if the guru is, I think, upset or not talking, our intent should be clear. Like what I realized that, that person is getting back to worldly things when guru is not talking. So I'm not sure if that is appropriate. See, there is one concept, right? कि भगवान and guru अगर हमसे नाराज हो या खुश हो, हमारी तरफ से जो intent है about serving and loving them should always be there. That is what purifies us. So it should not depend upon their response, that how we will, basically act with them.
That is also possible.
And if that is retained, I mean, I am just saying that if that sort of motivation is retained, even after moving to Swamiji, if the bigger purpose is not aligned with, serving God, then that may not help much. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that is also one thing to be taken into consideration. That's
True.
it.
So this is a unique situation that she might be in. That's why consult Swamiji, okay? Because if it is Guru's scope, bhi kripa hai, right? They say that. Is that the cope that could be a kripa, or there's something else going on? So that's why you need to present that context and take guidance from Swamiji as well in that case, okay? Because if it is not helping her cause and she continues to go into depression and doing those things, and it's just not helping, maybe some tweak is needed there as well, right? Before it's too late. But yeah, Guru could be happening, acting reverse with you. And at true bhaktis, then you don't take it otherwise. You still accept that and tolerate that as your well-wisher only, because there might be some lesson that you need to learn there. So take guidance from him. It's very contextual. So in this case, anything is a possibility. Great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sandhya ji.
Are we good then?
Sumesh ji? Yeah,
Sumesh ji, real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Radhe
Sumesh.
Nitin ji, yesterday in my mind, question had came that in India, so many people worship nature like tree, because tree gives us fruit, river because river gives us water, mountain worship because mountain protect the country. So why people not worship color of love, pink color? Because it is the color of love of Radha and Krishna, and it is the mark of peace, happiness. Why in India not worship color? It is my question.
Okay, so different people worship different things based on the understanding and the exposure they have gotten, right? So when they get into the deeper aspects of Tattva, they will understand. Some people call it nature. If you go to Pygmalion or a lot of other civilizations, they would worship nature because it gives us rain. Rain gives us grain. So they said nature is God. So, but as you keep on getting the, your frontiers of your knowledge are harnessed in spirituality and you keep on going higher, then you understand, who is the cause behind the nature, who's the cause behind the mountains, let's go to that supreme energy or source itself. So it really depends on what knowledge you have gotten exposure to, and based on that people pick up worship stuff. So we don't have to read too much into it. We have to focus on our journey, what we have understood, and then not worry about what people do. They have their own things, right, based on what exposure or knowledge they have gotten and what they consider is divine. So why is a big question. Why do people do that? There's so many things people do, right? We should rather focus on what we have understood, and we are fortunate in that sense. But we can discuss more if you had any more questions around it. Let's quickly wrap up the session because it's very late for Pallavi ji, and I don't want to hold her back. She's an East Coast. Swati ji, real quick, you had wanted to say real quick.
Swati ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Please fill out the feedback tracker.
Yeah, let me share the feedback.
I'll just take 1 minute. What Nikita ji asked, no, it may be she has the knowledge has been slipped out because eating samosa and then going in back in this material world is not good because Guru may be testing her. Maybe some other thing is happening. We never know what Guru is doing. So she should not go back in material. That is she's falling then from her stage where she was coming down then, I think. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Great. So you can take some guidance from Swamiji when you get a chance. But yeah, regardless, she should be looking at it as a positive opportunity to continue to work on herself rather than taking a U-turn in life, because now how does that help? Right? It's not a solution, basically, ducking away from the problem itself. All right. So we are done with the session then?
Yeah.
Do we have a question, or we are pretty much over the time now?
Yeah, I have just now shared the feedback tracker. Sorry, I missed it sharing before. I was so engaged in the presentation. Sorry about that. So please find the link for feedback tracker and put in your feedback, comments, your questions in the feedback tracker. And
great.
That's it from my side.
All right. So wonderful presentation again, Monica ji and team, enthusiastic team. And a very, very, very exciting session, full of enthusiasm and energy today. Like a lot of other sessions, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll continue on our journey of recap of chapter 3, where we will talk about what happens to people who are without faith, and continue with our journey. So thank you, everybody. Radhe Radhe. Good night. Good day from my side. See you tomorrow.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Nitinji, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay blessed. Radhe Radhe.